One of the biggest challenges of being a prepper is knowing exactly what you need to survive in a long-term disaster. Food, water, and medication are pretty obvious, while others like tools, repair items, and hygiene supplies tend to get overlooked. Then, even when it comes to the more obvious things, people still leave a lot of stuff out. For example, when it comes to food, most preppers will have a good stock of beans and rice, but they overlook other foods that could give them a more well-rounded diet. And I've done a lot of videos on stockpiling over the years. Some of them having catch-alls that cover almost everything you could think of, while others are more specialized, like how to survive an EMP or other serious grid down scenario. But with those videos, I almost always leave something out because it's hard to mention literally everything in a 12 to 15 minute presentation. Then I also see a lot of comments asking for a full list of the items I discuss in those videos. And over the past several months, I've been working on a solution to these problems. It doesn't cost any money, anybody can use it, and it'll take a lot of the guesswork out of knowing what you need to stockpile. So today we're going to talk about my new Ultimate Stockpile Checklist and how you can use it to make you and your loved ones more prepared. The Ultimate Stockpile Checklist is a free PDF that includes lists of the things that you need during a long-term survival situation. The first list is what you'd want to have if you lived in an apartment, followed by a list of what you need if you lived in a house. I made separate lists for this to take into account space limitations and other factors that are unique to living in an apartment or other small dwelling. But both lists include the minimum amount of supplies you'd want to have if you lived in either one. Then, after that, I put together more detailed lists that cover the most important areas of preparedness. First, I have a bug out bag checklist, and this is very similar to the items that I covered in the bug out bag video that I did a few months ago. It includes all the different kinds of things that you'd want to have in a kit like this, including food, water, clothing, and survival tools. And it also includes a place where you can add anything that I left out or include any personal additions that you just want to have. Below that, there's a link to an article on my website that'll show you the specific items that I recommend. I explain why I prefer them and also provide links that you can use to pick them up. Also did this on other pages where recommendations may be useful. The next checklist has different food items that you should stockpile, things like dry goods and canned goods, along with food preservation items like Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers. Then also have cooking tools and other kitchen accessories on there as well. On the next page, I have the shelf lives and recommended storage amounts for the most popular storage foods. After that is a water storage and purification checklist, and then one for energy and technology. The energy and technology checklist includes what you need to gather or store power, along with smaller items for lighting and climate control. Then also included one for cleaning and hygiene. Even though this isn't the most exciting preparedness related topic, it would be incredibly important, especially in a longer term situation. In a disaster, disease is going to run rampant due to a breakdown in waste management resources, so being able to keep your home and the area around it clean will be vital. That list includes everything that you would need to do that, along with what you need to keep yourself and your clothing clean as well. The next checklist is one for security and defense, and it has equipment that you can use to make your home a harder target to get into, what you need to protect yourself and your loved ones, and then also supplies to keep those tools running long term. After that, I have a couple of pages of tools and repair items. It starts with the basic tool section, which are tools that everyone should have, regardless of their living situation. I mean, even a college student would benefit from having most of those. After that, there's a list of additional tools that you'd want to have if you're a homeowner, followed by manual tools for long-term scenarios, power tools, mechanics tools, and then others. I also included a section with repair items you should keep on hand in case your home or gear gets damaged. Next checklist is one for gardening and land management. It'll give you a really good starting point if you want to start a garden at your home, or maybe you want to get your feet wet with homesteading. After that is a list of prepper and survival books that I personally recommend, followed by a couple of blank pages for notes and additional items that I left out that maybe you'd want to include. The Ultimate Stockpile Checklist would be a really good resource to keep in your preparedness binder as a basic, easy way to keep track of your inventory. And even if you have a more detailed system, it would still work well as a quick way to tell what you have and also what you still need. When it comes to getting the Ultimate Stockpile Checklist, it's free for anybody who signs up for the new DIY Prepper Community newsletter. Just use the link in the description below or this card to sign up for it. Scroll down the page until you get to the form and then type in your first name and email address. First name is optional. And after you do that, you'll get an email with a link that you can use to download the document. If you don't see it after a few minutes, just check your spam or junk folder because it may have ended up there. And also, the file is a little large, so it may take a few minutes to download, so don't give up on it, just let it do its thing. Now, I know some of you may be wondering about the newsletter, what'll be in it, and why it even exists in the first place. The main purpose of the newsletter will be to share things with you that you may have missed, because I know for a fact that not all of my regular viewers get notified about my videos or have them show up on their YouTube homepage. So my intention is to send out a monthly email where I'll catch you up on all the videos that I released the month prior. This is a much better way to stay up to date on everything I do here and then also on my other channel than just trusting YouTube to let you know, because it seems like even if you sign up for all notifications, things still fall through the cracks for some reason. Now, of course, please stay subscribed to the channel and continue to select all notifications, because having people watch the videos as soon as they're released is very, very important, but this is just a good way to make sure that no one gets left behind. Then I'll also use the newsletter to share relevant articles from my website. This is something that I like to work on more since I have the freedom to talk about things the way I want to over there, since I own that website, unlike a social media platform like this, where I'm more or less just a tenant. In addition to the monthly newsletter, I may send out 1 or 2 additional emails per month, but everything would have a purpose. You don't have to worry about me spamming your inbox all the time, because between me running 2 YouTube channels and having a 5-year-old who does an excellent job keeping me on my toes all the time, I don't even have time to do nonsense like that. Now, even with this checklist, it's important to remember that disasters and other survival situations are incredibly complex and they're all unique. So there's no way to predict every single item that you may need. That's why I included the pages for notes and additional items at the end of the document. So always continue to learn more about prepping from as many sources as possible. If you want to check out some of my favorite books over prepping and survival, then click here. Or if you want to see the 10 main types of items every prepper should stockpile, then click here. Thank y'all for stopping by. Y'all have a good one.